many takes? 你猜？
已经开始了。
真的？OK，有没有人告诉过你一天只能吃一个鸡蛋？是真的吗？大家好，我是 Oliver 的 Alan。We're going to talk about whether there's any science to back up whether it's true you can only eat one egg per day. So why do people say that you should only eat one egg a day? Well, normally their concern is with the cholesterol and the fat that's in eggs. So particularly the egg yolk. So that's why they're telling you don't eat too much because you're going to have too much cholesterol or you're going to have too much fat. Now, to understand why that's true or not, you have to understand a little bit more about the cholesterol and fat. When you eat those two things, how does your body deal with it? To understand why cholesterol is good or bad for you, we need to actually dive a little bit deeper into the science. And when we do these physical checkups, when you do the blood work, what you see in the cholesterol, the LDL, the HDL, the total cholesterol, those numbers actually don't really represent, or it's not completely related to the cholesterol in the foods that we eat. So foods that are high in cholesterol, they don't exactly match up to the reports that you see. And so why is that? Well, you have to understand a little bit of the physiology of how we intake cholesterol. That is called a dietary cholesterol, and that does not transform into blood cholesterol, and that's what you see in the report. Dietary cholesterol actually has very little impact because our bodies actually produce cholesterol. It's a very, very important compound that your body uses to make a lot of things, including hormones, including the structure of your cells. And so it's such an important ingredient that your liver produces 70% of the total body cholesterol. And so perhaps 30% is what you can really influence in your diet. In other words, whenever there's an ingredient, nutrient that you're ingesting that doesn't have such a big majority in your body, then your body actually has more control or regulation on the amount, the volume of it, which probably means it's such an important ingredient that you can't really manipulate it. For example, salt, like I said in the previous video, it's such an important ingredient in the body that it doesn't really allow you to mess with it too much. So if you eat too much, it's no big deal. It can dispose of it properly. And same with cholesterol. If you eat too much high in cholesterol food, your body actually disposes of it in your stool. So it's not a problem. In fact, if you have too little cholesterol, then that can be a problem. Same with salt. So that's the first component, is that you don't really need to worry about cholesterol. And the fact that people think cholesterol will lead to plaque formation in the arteries, leading to cardiovascular disease, is also not really a big concern. So the reason why cholesterol may not be the culprit in cardiovascular disease, it's a long and complicated process of a lot of biochemistry involved. So I'll probably leave that for a future video. For now, just don't be too concerned about it. The next thing, though, however, that might be of concern to some people is the saturated fats that's found in eggs. And again, in a future video, I'll dive much deeper into all the different types of dietary fat, including saturated fats, which come from animal fat. Now, some of the good things about eggs is that it's really high in protein for the amount of calories it contains. And it's really, really good protein that you really want to ingest. It covers a lot of the essential amino acids, which are the proteins that are essential, meaning that you cannot make it yourself. Your body cannot produce it. You have to ingest it from the outside. And so that's why it's actually one of the most complete proteins there is. So when you're also deciding whether you should eat eggs or not, another key important factor to consider is how are the eggs being produced? From chickens that are free range or chickens that are in battery cages that are locked up and they are pumped full of antibiotics and hormones, because that actually will leach into the eggs and that will change the health factor of the eggs. And so, of course, ideally you should look for naturally raised chickens that are producing eggs naturally. And those are probably the best source of protein you can find. And so to wrap up, I do suggest that you do eat eggs. The amount of eggs to me is not really a big concern based on the points I mentioned. However, you don't want to go crazy and eat 10 eggs every day. I don't think that's probably wise. Like anything, you don't want to go overboard with any one ingredient. But overall, I would say it's a healthy food item that you should have daily, and if you want more than one. So yes, guys, please enjoy your eggs. Eat them. They're really healthy for you. Do not listen to the rule that you should only have one egg per day. That doesn't make sense. So that's it, guys. As always, if you have any more questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below or follow me on my WeChat official account. See you later.